We had her face on a serious matter that happened in this world, and it's unacceptable. Basketball is headed in a great direction, but nah, we don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us racial names.
You know what's crazy? The WNBA's never been more popular, but some players are facing more hate than ever. Alyssa Thomas is pointing fingers at Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. But is that fair? Let's break it down. The WNBA's on fire right now, but some players are getting burned in the worst way. Imagine this: Alyssa Thomas, an 11-year veteran, drops a bombshell.
Honestly, it's been a lot of nonsense. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. Yeah, there's no place for it, and we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it.
She says, "In my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base." That's insane, right? Now, Caitlin Clark's arrival has shaken up the league big time. More fans, more attention, but also more drama. You know what's crazier? Some people are wondering if Clark's popularity is actually causing problems for other players. So here's the million-dollar question. Is this just what happens when a league gets super popular? Or can the WNBA keep growing without all the hate? Let's talk about it.
I mean, we already see what's happening in the world and what we have to deal with in that aspect. And, we come to play basketball for our job and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that.
We don't want to have to go to work today and then she said, and have social media. Do you work on social media?
Remember when rookies could ease into the pros without much fuss? Those days are gone. Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA isn't just making waves, it's causing a tsunami. But is this tidal wave of attention lifting all boats or leaving some players stranded? Clark hasn't even played her first official game, and she's already shaking up the entire league. We're talking about a game changer here, folks. The numbers don't lie. Clark's presence has sent viewership through the roof. The game featuring her and the Indiana Fever became the most watched WNBA game ever on cable.
Is that what did she travel? I think, where did they move Twitter to, or X? Did they move it to Austin, Texas? Was this game in Austin? And get invaded by social media? They played in an arena. Somewhere, I would imagine, in Connecticut.
With over 3 million viewers at its peak. That's not just breaking records, it's shattering them. But here's where it gets tricky. All this attention isn't just shining a spotlight on Clark, it's casting a shadow on some other players. And that shadow? It's got some pretty ugly stuff lurking in it. See, Clark's popularity has attracted a mixed bag of fans. Some are great, bringing new energy to the league. But others, they're causing trouble. We're talking about fans who are crossing lines, saying things online that no player should have to deal with. And it's not just affecting Clark. Her teammates and other players in the league are feeling the heat too. Now you might be thinking, isn't this just part of being a pro athlete? Sure, rookies always face scrutiny, but Clark isn't just any rookie. She's become a cultural icon, and that means every move she makes is under a microscope. People are analyzing her performance, her behavior, everything. It's intense. But here's the kicker. Clark herself isn't okay with this. She's spoken out, saying no one should face racism or hateful comments. She wants to uplift the league, not tear it down. But the problem is, once you open the floodgates of attention, it's hard to control what comes through. So we've got this wild situation. The WNBA is more popular than ever, thanks in part to Clark. But that same popularity is exposing some ugly truths about fan behavior. It's like the league leveled up, but some fans didn't get the memo about good sportsmanship. This leaves the WNBA in a tough spot. How do you keep growing the game without letting the negativity take over? How do you protect your players while still embracing new fans? It's a balancing act, and right now it feels like the scales are tipping. Hold up, we're celebrating record-breaking viewership, but at what cost? Behind the cheers and packed arenas, there's a storm brewing. Some players are facing a barrage of hate that goes way beyond game criticism. Is this the price of fame in women's basketball? Picture this. You're Alyssa Thomas, an 11-year veteran of the WNBA. You've seen the league grow, change, evolve, but now you're facing something new. something ugly. Thomas dropped a bombshell saying, "In my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base." That's not just shocking, it's heartbreaking. But Thomas isn't alone in this fight. Her teammate, Dejanay Carrington, got hit with racist and violent messages. Can you imagine checking your phone after a game and seeing that? It's not just trash talk, it's straight up hate. And it's not just the Sun players feeling the heat. Alyssa Boston, another star in the league, shared her own experience. She noticed something wild. When the Fever were playing better, the nice comments came back. But when things got tough, the hate flooded in. It's like some fans can't separate the game from the person. The WNBA isn't sitting back and watching this happen. They've come out swinging, saying they're not going to tolerate this kind of behavior. They're even talking about getting law enforcement involved if things get too nasty. But is that enough? Here's the real kicker. All this is happening while the WNBA is more popular than ever. More fans, more attention, more money. But it's like opening Pandora's box. You get all the good stuff, but there's some nasty surprises mixed in too. So now we're stuck with this crazy situation. The league's growing like never before, but some players are paying a heavy price. Thomas put it perfectly. "We come to play basketball for our job, and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that." Think about that for a second. These players are living their dreams, playing at the highest level. But now they've got to deal with this extra layer of stress. It's not just about performance anymore. It's about bracing yourself for what might be waiting for you online after every game. The Connecticut Sun's head coach, Stephanie White, zoomed out and hit us with some real talk. She said there's been racism, sexism, transphobia, and homophobia throughout the course of this country. It's like the WNBA's growth is shining a spotlight on these ugly truths we've been trying to ignore. So here's the million-dollar question. How do we keep this WNBA train rolling without letting it run over the very players who make it great? How do we celebrate the Caitlin Clarks of the league without creating a toxic environment for everyone else? Get this, the future of the WNBA isn't just about superstar rookies or veteran players. It's about you, me, and every fan watching at home. But here's the million-dollar question. Are we ready to step up and change the game from the sideline? The WNBA's facing a wild challenge. They're growing like crazy, but some players are getting hit with a ton of hate. So how do we keep the party going without letting the bad vibes take over? It's like trying to throw the best bash ever while keeping the party crashers out. Here's the deal. The league's got to play defense and offense at the same time. They're talking about cracking down on fans who cross the line, stricter fan conduct policies, you bet. Better social media moderation? For sure. But here's the thing, it's not just about punishing the bad apples. It's about creating an environment where the good ones can thrive. Stephanie White, the Connecticut Sun's head coach, dropped some wisdom on us. She said, "We've got to get back to keeping the main thing. The main thing." And you know what? She's onto something. The WNBA is not just about basketball. It's about respect, equality, and pushing the boundaries of what women can achieve in sports. But here's where it gets real. The players can't do this alone. The league can't do it alone. We've got to step up. Yeah, you heard me right. Us fans have got a job to do. Ever heard of conscious fandom? It's this wild idea that we've got the power to create a positive environment by supporting players and the league responsibly. Imagine if every time someone dropped a hate comment, 10 fans jumped in with positivity. That's the kind of team spirit we need. And it's not just about being nice. It's about understanding the impact we have. Alyssa Boston, another star in the league, had to take breaks from social media because of all the toxicity. Think about that. These players are living their dreams, and they can't even enjoy it because of what's waiting for them online. So here's the game plan. Next time you're watching a WNBA game, think about the players as real people. People with feelings, dreams, and bad days just like the rest of us. Before you post that comment or tweet, ask yourself, would I say this to their face? If the answer's no, maybe it's time for a rewrite. The WNBA's got a chance to be more than just a sports league. It could be a movement, a place where we celebrate talent, hard work, and diversity, but that's only going to happen if we all play our part. All right, let's get real for a second. The WNBA's blowing up, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Some players are getting hit with serious hate, and that's not cool. But here's the thing, this doesn't have to be the new normal. We've got a chance to change the game. And I'm not just talking about what happens on the court. It's about what we do in the stands, on social media, everywhere. The players are doing their part, the league's stepping up, but now it's our turn. Next time you're watching a game or thinking about posting something, remember, you're not just a fan, you're part of the team. Let's make it a winning one. We can celebrate the amazing plays, cheer for our favorites, and still keep things respectful. That's how we build a league that's not just big, but truly great.